Alrighty, so we're going to be creating another video uh, to demonstrate how to day trade the U.S. stock markets. In this case scenario, I'm a very big fan of trading the SPY, which is the Standard & Poor's 500 index. Just to reiterate some of these windows, this is my time and sales window. I'll be using this to help gauge the buying and selling pressure that's taking place, alongside with the level 2 window, which you can see here. Of course, the more important area of the level 2 window is the NBBO, also known as the National Best Bid and Offer, which can be seen here in the yellow. I have 4 charts open. This is my 2-minute chart. That's going to help me make some odd decisions here and there, like, for example, examining tails and the buying pressure as it correlates to both the time and sales as well as the level 2 window. Over here, I have the 5-minute chart. This is basically what is called the playing time frame, and underneath this is going to be the 15-minute chart, which is going to display areas of support and resistance as well as targets. Underneath this, or the very bottom chart, is the 15-minute chart, and the hourly chart, and this is also going to give me a little bit of indication about what the larger time frame players are looking at for support and resistance. All these faded darker yellow lines all over these charts are areas of support and resistance I've marked off ahead of time. And as you can see, the price labels over on the side of the chart indicates that the market is planning to, or is intending to, gap up from the prior day's close. So with that much said, you can see that this is the gap up price pre-market, and we're going to keep an eye on that. With such a strong gap between the prior day's close and the current price, chances are good I'll probably try to hop in quite early, take a decent sized position without going too terribly overboard, and we'll see what the market will give us today. On the very top here, top right area, we have my positions window, which will zoom in and zoom out of every now and then, just to clarify how many shares I have of the symbol unrealized, realized, profit and loss, and so forth. On the edge over here is going to be my executions window, which will display all the symbols that are or all the transactions that I initiate. So with that much said, we're roughly about 1 minute and 30 seconds away from the market open. Hopefully I've clarified everything. And as we can see, the markets are currently, the National Best Bid and Offer, NBBO, is 246.05 by 246.07. On that same note, traders tend to refer to the last 2 digits as being the price, as opposed to saying the long-winded numbers or the full value of the numbers. So with that much said, it looks like the market is just about to open, and as I mentioned earlier, I will be taking a position as soon as the market opens, and we'll see if we can run that up a little bit and make for a short day, perhaps finish by 10:30, maybe earlier if possible. The goal, or the target, is going to be around the, say, $300 mark for the first half hour, and that should make for a simple day where it leaves the rest of my day free to do as I please. So another 15 seconds, and as I mentioned, I will be taking a position on the SPY as soon as the first tick takes place, as soon as the market opens. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to take a 200 share position. All right, we got a little bit of a run here, so I'm going to add more. I'm up to 500 shares. All right, we're still seeing a lot of strength here on the 2-minute chart. Good green. My average price is now at the 08s. All right, so it's moving a little tiny bit against me here, but I'm not too terribly concerned because of the nature of the gap being fairly strong. and I'll let this go a little tiny bit against me. I don't think I'm going to let it break down below the 246 area where it originally opened, but nonetheless, if that does happen, I'll probably incur a $20 loss or something of that nature. But I will continue to add to this position if we make a new high, such as right now. So let me add another 2 lots. I'm now up to 700 shares, and price seems to be a little bit stuck at this at the tens. All right, so we got a little bit of a movement here. So I'm going to add 200 more shares, 200 shares to the position. Okay, as you can see in the positions window, my average price is the 09s, and I'm currently have an unrealized win of $33. Alrighty, so it's moving a little bit against me at this moment. I think I'm going to play the patience game a little bit. I don't want this unrealized loss to get too terribly out of control. Specifically because the nature of my trading, I'm very risk adverse type of a trader, and everything is about capital preservation. So minimizing risk and maximizing potential gain is a critical factor in the core trading concepts methodology. Since prices seems to be meandering around this area for a moment, I'll just mention really quickly, my name is William Chung. I am the founder of CoreTradingConcepts.com, and I am also the author of A Guide to Core Trading Concepts. And everything that's been mentioned up to this point in time, and everything you'll see me display through this video or refer to in this video, can be found in my book, A Guide to Core Trading Concepts. Alrighty, so looks like the price might potentially go higher. Not a big spread between my average price and the current price. So I'm going to be a little bit more on the conservative side here. I'm not going to go too terribly big on the share size. Okay, so that's a lot of green going through there. I'm going to add, I was going to add, but look at all this size causing a degree of resistance for a price to push higher. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. A little bit of red here, not too attractive looking. All right, so it's moving back against me a tiny little bit here. We'll have to keep a close eye on this. Alrighty, so making another new high, so I'm going to add one more lot. Now I'm up to 1,000 shares. My average price is at the 10s. Current price is at the 19s, 20s, and I currently am up roughly just under 11 cents, which gives me 113. Well, as you can see here, the unrealized profits are just inside this area here. And just to reiterate, this little red bar here is a pre-market bar. Same thing with, I believe it's this one and this one here. Alrighty, so it's still moving fairly decently at this moment. I would have preferred a little bit stronger bars on the 5-minute chart, but we'll take whatever the market gives us and we'll make our decisions accordingly. Alrighty, so here we have an idea of average size bars that are taking place. And this bar here is a little bit larger than most of them as a whole, so I'm going to have to consider thinning out a little bit of my position. Although this is a gap up play, maybe I'll try to take some off at the 30, say 33s. All right, so it looks like it's not going to go to the 33s right now, 31s. Alrighty, so we're over at the 29s. Alrighty, so I think we should protect a little bit of our profits here. Put something in the bank. And alrighty, so let's take off a few shares here. Looks like we're getting a little bit of green coming in here. And my what I'm doing is I'm keeping an eye on this bar right here and the tail that's forming on the top of it. Watching how quickly it erodes or fades away on me and the potential of that being retraced. Alrighty, so it's not looking too terribly bad at this moment. I do have a little bit of buffer room because of my position being, my average position being at the 10s, current prices at the 28s, and my profit, my unrealized profit is 159. So it does give me a little bit of play room. I'm not going to let it go against me at the 10s, obviously. Alrighty, so we're back into the 29s and the 30s for the NBBO on the inside. Alrighty, so this candle is here, this one currently forming on the 2-minute chart, is looking a little bit grim. Maybe I should have taken some off earlier. Let's make a decision here. Alright, so lots of green coming in through the time and sales. Prices eroded away a little bit on me there. Alrighty, so I guess sooner or later I have to make some form of decision where I'm going to exit all this. I should have perhaps exited it a little bit higher up to this 30 range. But I will not let it go below the bottom of this bar here. This bottom, if it does, then we're talking about a potential downtrend or a sell setup where the momentum might do a little bit of follow through. On this chart here, it's still looking fairly bullish as a whole. Once again, this is my entry price here at the 10, so if this bar gets taken out, otherwise the red bar comes crashing down and hits this level here, I definitely need to be out by the 10s. But at this moment in time, I think I want to give it a little bit of breathing room, see how this whole entire area plays out. It is still gap time. As you can see, it's only 10 minutes into the market open, and it's difficult to gauge specifically or exactly how the market will move at this very moment, being a gap fill period. We don't know if we're going to see this fill the gap down to this range here, or perhaps even push higher. On that same note, it is interesting to say that the SPY, or the S&P 500, is currently at what seems like all-time highs. So there's not really a whole bunch of areas that I can actually do any type of measuring with regards to support or resistance that is going to take place if the price pushes higher, specifically because there is no target. There's nothing from previous trading that has pushed the prices high, so it becomes a little bit more difficult to measure how to determine when or where to take profits or things of that nature. So we'll have to read the candlesticks and be very diligent in reading these tails, reading momentum, combine that with not only the level 2 area but the time and sales. Watch the momentum really carefully and see what it puts out for us. Alrighty, so this is a little bit on the sideways looking area on the 2-minute chart. This is still fairly bullish looking. Would like to see price push up higher into the top of this tail here, specifically because this top of this tail here, we've seen some selling pressure taking place, and it's really just observing whether or not there's enough buying pressure inside this bar that will start eroding away the sellers who created this tail. As I mentioned earlier, this is a little bit sideways looking, but it's difficult to tell. We have a little bit of bottoming tails down here, gives us a little bit of indication of buying pressure, but we really don't know how much. All right, so we got a little bit of the topping tail from the previous bar getting taken out by the current bar. And as I mentioned, it's hard to perceive where to take profits or anything of that nature because this is going into new highs. But nonetheless, as we mentioned earlier, being a risk-adverse trader over at Core Trading Concepts, we want to make sure we bank something all the time. We're going into the 34s. I'm going to take a few hundred shares off the table here. All right, so currently we have $105 realized profit up here, and another $134 unrealized. If this price gets pushed back down because of the sellers on this candle, we're going to take a little bit more off the table. All right, so and here we go with a little bit of a red candle at the new highs. Let's take 200 more off the table, put that in the bank. Alrighty, so this 2-minute chart is looking much better. Because now it doesn't look so much on the sideways. If this bar here breaks higher, it would be much more attractive, significantly more attractive. If it retraces a little bit into this area under the 30s, I might take a few more shares off the table with the anticipation that this momentum is still fairly strong and attractive, and I could put it back in or add the shares back into the trade a little bit later, if warranted, based on not only the level 2 area, but the time and sales correlated with the 2-minute chart, and keeping an eye on the 5-minute playing time frame. All right, so it looks like it's pushing into new highs again. We have 1, 2, 3 bars up. Currently, it's 15 minutes into the trading day. Alrighty, so we're getting a little bit of a red bar here. I'm going to take another 200 shares off the table. My realized profit for the first basically 16 minutes is $188. My unrealized profit is 37 at the moment. And of course, we need to anticipate that the stock is going to breathe. So it's going to have that cyclical up and down movement such as that. And we want to take advantage of any type of retracement on a strong day to continue to go long. Just a quick note, within my positions window, you'll notice that the current average price is at the 14s, perhaps the 15s. Last price is the 33s. My average gain at this very moment, as we were speaking, for the balance of shares left is roughly about 20 cents. And what should we do here? Alrighty, so I think what we're going to need to consider is new highs in a 3-bar move. And if this candlestick starts going significantly higher, we're going to try to add to it. If it drops back down a little bit without breaking the bottom of this candlestick bar or the tail bottom of this tail here, while it starts going back up higher, we're going to start adding to the position. Why? Because we're still going to play that strength to the upside. So we need that little bit of breathing to watch this candle come down. As long as it doesn't break the bottom of this prior bar, we can add to it. Or if it breaks through the top, we can add to it. If it breaks below the bottom of this candlestick, we need to be out of that trade because now it becomes potential selling pressure that's overwhelming the buying pressure. So we'll keep a close eye on this. Alrighty, so the natural breathing of the market is taking place here, and any type of retracement cannot break the bottom of this bar here. And if we see any buying, that would be any type of upward pressure or buying pressure, we may consider adding to the trade. Alrighty, so we do have a little bit of selling pressure here, as denoted by the red scrolling through the time and sales. A little bit of green, but not very convincing at this very moment. But we're going to see which one predominates this environment. Okay, we correlate that with the 2-minute candle. Still seems like a little bit of selling. All right, so that's a little bit of buying pressure that's taking place, as we can see the bottoming tail take place here, and that seems fairly attractive as a whole. I think it might. We're going to have to keep a close eye on this and make some decisions soon. Okay, still more red going. Okay, so we have some yellows going through here with green. That's actually a little bit more on the attractive side. Okay, so we're not getting very much buying pressure here. Still a little bit of red, and this is coming down a little bit. We really like to see a little bit more green go through time and sales. We'd like to see the ask price a little bit lower, eroding away a bit. All right, so we got a green tail or green bar coming in here, and we see a little bit of erosion taking place on the ask side. So I'm going to go ahead and add 200 shares to this position. If the 2-minute candlestick goes over this red bar, I'm going to add more to it, which is the 30. So if this goes to the 31s, that side goes to the 31s, I'll be adding more shares to it. Alrighty, come on, we need a little bit of more strength here. Whoops, got caught a little distracted there. I should have added. Alrighty, so now I'm back up to 700 shares. Average price is the 25s, which is just below this bar here, so I do not want this bar to be taken out with a red bar going to the south side or the downside. So this is going to be my average price, and I'm going to keep an eye on this as well as this and correlate it with these areas here to ensure that I protect my position. Alrighty, so it's still looking fairly good. Still bullish on the 5-minute. 15-minute is still bullish. It's still trading at the top third of the range, as you can see on the 15-minute chart. And we don't have enough information on the hourly chart at this moment to give us any type of bias. Alrighty, so we're looking for a break of the high. Looks like my platform might have crashed on me here. Alrighty, I think my platform has crashed on me, so I'm going to end this video since there's nothing really to see, and I'm going to have to get out of this position. As you can see, my realized profit is 188, and while my realized profit is 188, my current position, I have unrealized gain of 52. The total, if I that I'm going to do at this moment is exit this position manually, and we'll take care of that trade. Sorry about the platform. And once again, my name is William Chung for Core Trading Concepts. I'm the founder of the CoreTradingConcepts.com, as well as the author of A Guide to Core Trading Concepts. Please visit us on Facebook, on our group, as well as our webpage. We look forward to serving you soon.